friends, school board, and community members. The Hayes Freedom High School staff and the class of 2019 welcome you and thank you for joining us in this celebration. I'd like to take a moment to introduce our school board members who are here today. Doug Quinn, Connie Hennessy, Tracy Malone, Erica Cox, Casey McHenry, and also our superintendent, Dr. Jeff Snell, assistant superintendents, Dr. Charlene Williams, and Lisa Gresseth. Class of 2019, I am thankful to have been able to serve as your principal and share in this part of your educational journey. In thinking through the message I hope to convey to you today, I wavered between the lines from an NSYNC song and the theme from Wizard of Oz. I started with the awareness that you may have seen me, much like the Wicked Witch of the West, relentlessly pushing you to do the work to find your way and not giving you the easy way out. However, my purpose in pushing you was a little more like Glenda, the Good Witch, because that relentless push came from a place of the awareness in your capabilities and knowing the true sense of accomplishment you would have in saying, you did this. For some of you, your time with us was 4 long years. For others, just 4 short weeks. Whether it was a storm that helped you find us, your family, or just your intuition, I'm glad you made it to this road with us. At times on this journey, you saw things as boring, pointless, a waste of time. I saw connections to many experiences that you will have after high school. I know that from working through the hard parts and doing what was necessary, it would make you stronger and a better person and more capable of taking on the challenges you will face in this world. At last year's graduation, a graduate pointed out to his class that yesterday they were high schoolers. Their role models, school communities, and society itself had tried their best to prepare them. Through debate and conversations, questioning, reading and writing about topics that connected the impact of trauma on children, to our things soldiers carry home from war, to exploring the issues of mental health and the American dream through literature, we hoped that you would develop as humans and young citizens. But in our efforts, we are painfully aware that the lives you will lead are not something we could fully prepare you for. Instead, we strive to provide you with a foundation in which your experiences in the world can be built on. That graduate went on to speak of how, at their moment of triumph, around them, the world was growing ever more complicated, and that the cracks were beginning to show. 1 year later, those cracks have become great divides. Within your classrooms, examples of these profoundly divisive acts and concepts were discussed, researched, and explored. The role models around you entered into those teaching moments, showing compassion and patience. They listened and leaned into conversations, hoping and modeling what it means to try to understand without being judgmental. At the center of your high school education at Hayes Freedom, it was safe to make mistakes. It was safe to learn and grow. You were offered a new day, every day, to start again and try again. The purpose of showing compassion and giving you a redo each day links to what I truly want you to take from the last point I want to make to you as your principal. While I love the idea of hope, a word at the center of education and a concept that guides our work in the Camas School District, especially helping us to keep going when so many things distract from what all is good in our work. For me, hope feels too open-ended. I have many hopes for you. I hope that you'll keep friends you made here. I hope you return to tell us stories of your challenges and successes. I hope that your future is full of love and laughter, and that you get to do the work that fuels your soul. However, when I think of your unique class, I am more drawn to the word promise. Not promise, like I promise you will not die from giving your senior project speech. Or I promise you will not starve if I don't let you leave for lunch. Rather, promise defined as the quality of potential excellence to seem likely to be successful in the future. The class of 2019 is full of talented artists, athletes, persuaders, and scholars. They're hard workers, dreamers, fighters, and problem solvers. To stop the breakdown around you in the world you are entering into, for it to heal and flourish again, you must take on promise, and you have to make an impact on the society in a positive way. It is your job to continue to learn and grow into your excellence. Make the world you live in for most of your life much better than the one you are living in today. You have it in you. It will take your heart, kindness and compassion, your brain questioning and thinking, fearlessness and courage as challenges are tossed at you. With promise, please accept and engage with it. At the end of my message, I usually quote a small piece of one of my favorite poems, Our Deepest Fear by Marianne Williamson. But I think your class should hear a little bit more of it. Please listen with more than just your ears. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? Your playing small does not serve this world. There's nothing enlightening about shrinking so that the people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine, as children do. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our light shine, we unconsciously give people permission to do the same. We are liberated from our own fear. Our presence automatically liberates others. Renegades, you are bold, courageous, patient, loving, quiet, smart, talented, strong-willed, and powerful beyond measure. The school you are graduating from was built on the idea to protect your light as you grow into the beginning version of who you will become. It's your time to use your light and power for good. Do not let the worry about what might happen keep you from continuing to challenge yourself in meaningful ways. As you go make your place in this world, please do so honorably, truly, and without regret. Use kindness instead of in the face of hatred. Choose to be proud instead of arrogant. Be fearless, but not reckless. There is a difference. Congratulations on today, which is just the beginning of the excellence of the unique promise I see within each of you. Welcome one of my two favorite renegades. You knew I had a favorite. Your ASB president, Darian Holmes. Got one ready? My name is Darian Holmes. I would like to start off by thanking everyone for being here today to celebrate the class of 2019's accomplishments. I would also like the Hayes Freedom staff to please stand and be recognized by the class of 2019 and their families. Since freshman year, we have all been counting down the days until graduation and planning for the rest of our lives. And now here we are, waiting to walk across this stage, receive our diploma, and thank our amazing principal and the wonderful staff for everything they have done to support us through our time here at Hayes. Whether we have been here for 4 years or 4 weeks, they were always the ones we could rely on. No matter what we were going through, they were always there. Some adults like to tell us that high school is the best 4 years of your life, and what I have learned is that they are wrong. High school can be an amazing time, but it is also stressful, confusing, frustrating, and can easily be the worst 4 years of our lives. We are held to standards that feel impossible to live up to, but no matter how many times we asked, when will we use this in the real world? Why do we have to do our senior boards? And how many days left do we have of class? We were pushed to do our best work by our principal and teachers, even when we fought back, because they saw the potential in us, even when we didn't. No matter how grumpy we were or how bad of a day we were having, Christy, DJ, and Holmes were always there to say good morning or I'm so happy you're here, which always made the start to our school day better. Our teachers were always there to welcome us to class no matter how late we were. They still made sure we were caught up on all of our schoolwork and helped us study for tests because, believe it or not, they didn't want us to fail. We might not realize it right now, but we're going to miss math with Miss Robinson, debates on Friday with Winkley, analyzing poetry with Spencer, learning hand dances to memorize important events with Harvey, and we will miss all of the amazing stories we got to hear when Mr. Brash was our sub.
Now, I have been lucky enough to be a part of Hayes since we were CAP. I have watched my mom build Hayes from the ground up. I have seen the bond she has created with her students and the impact they have had on each other's lives. There is no other principal who cares about their students like she does. No one who has said, "Please be safe and have a good weekend," to her students every single Friday. She might get mad at me for saying this, but she absolutely hates missing school the day before a break or a long weekend because she won't be able to tell her students to be safe. Because like every other parent in this room, she worries about her kids. And all the students at Hayes are more than just her students. They're a part of her family. After today, we are all headed in different directions. Some of us are headed straight into the workforce, some back to school, and some of us have no idea what we want to do with our lives, which is completely fine, because we were taught to always be kind, proud, and fearless. One thing the 30 of us will always have in common is that we will always be a renegade, no matter where life takes us, no matter how many times we might mess up, or how many times we change our path, we will always know our way home to our renegade family. I leave you all with a quote by John Green. One day you're 17 and planning for someday, and then quietly, without you ever really noticing, someday is today, and then someday is yesterday, and this is your life. Congratulations, class of 2019. We did it. And now a performance by Nicole Urick and Mr. Harvey.
Okay, so I wanted to say something before I perform because Hayes has meant the most. Because Hayes has changed my high school experience completely. I've been at Hayes for 3 years, and I couldn't have made a better choice by switching here. I've gained friendships with all the staff over time, and they genuinely make you feel cared about and loved, especially Christy, DJ, and Holmes. I'm not sure what I would have done if it wasn't for them encouraging me every single day to do my best, even when I've been at my lowest and had a little bit of attitude. They gave me a new chance every day to be better than I was the day before. Without them, I don't think I would have made it this far. This school has showed me that I can do and be whatever it is I want to be, and to present myself the best that I can, even if people doubt me. I'll never forget the memories I've made here, and to all the graduates, we may have all taken different paths and faced different obstacles to get to this point, whether you had it easy or needed help every step of the way. It doesn't matter anymore. We're all here together. We all are equal and now have the same chances to decide what we do next. I'm so proud of all of you. Congratulations. And now I'm going to perform a song called Upside Down by Jack Johnson with Mr. Harvey.
Thank you. Would one of you like to time me? My goal is to have this be between 7 and 11 minutes. Yeah, not to bring up bad memories. Hi, I'm Kelly Johnson, and this has been my first year as a teacher at Hayes Freedom, so this group of graduates is very special to me. As my first group, you've impacted me as much, if not more, than I've impacted you. Our stories have intertwined, and for that, I thank you all. You've taught me new words and phrases like throwing hands, going ham, schlump, and the correct difference between and usage of gas and fire. You've introduced me to new music, Hollywood Undead, Travis Scott, and the Accountant Rap. And reminded me of music I'd forgotten, Return of the Mac. It's hard to not break into that chorus. I will resist, which is a kindness from me to you. You've made me laugh, like when Kat proudly announced, "I'm an open book," and Izzy, without missing a beat, said, "Yeah, I don't like to read." One of my greatest moments this year. Or when Harrison and Christian cooked up a way to decrease their food expense by suggesting they could live off white rice, beans, and lard with vitamins. Jonah, negotiating student donations of Domino's Pizza payable to you. Back when I started, I decorated my room, but it lacked that personal student touch, and I was a little bit worried that it wouldn't ever get there. Sure, I had a sketch of myself, big sketch of me. I had a Captain Picard, but now I have Sophia's Doggo Shakespeare guarding my timesheets, Harrison's House of Inconvenience, and a Matt Martin Moo-Moo. Thank you, Matt. I even have student artwork on my fridge at home, but I won't share. I don't want to claim favorites, so. But I do have student artwork on my fridge. In an early assignment, visiting another country, Titus included some humor in his presentation, and that choice solved a mystery that's plagued me for over 20 years. No joke. My class is life math, and my favorite days were when we took a break from the math and spent some time discussing life. We've had our share of philosophical conversations. Is California real? We may never agree. But hopefully we can all agree that respecting other people's beliefs is important. Which is better, Muchas Gracias or Don Pedro's? Thank you. This is the position I get put in. I tend to be more of a Muchas Gracias person, but I try to stay neutral. So, important philosophical discussions. We've talked about creative conflict resolution. Grant and I engaged in very spirited conflict role play. Connor presented his ideas about starting a new business. The class helped him brainstorm, gave him feedback, and really tried to help him come up with a better domain name. If you were in my class, you know what that was. The core values of Hayes Freedom High School are kind, proud, and fearless. I have seen kind. Dylan, assistant manager of third period consumer math, always willing to help anyone, advocate for others, and still finish with the highest balance of all time. James, keeping it real, but using that realness to help others succeed. Xochitl, still returning to support her friends. And Team Kayla and Eli for trying to teach me a Fortnite dance. If you've seen me dance, you'd understand why I put this under kindness instead of up in the earlier part where I learned something from them. So it's a kindness to you that I'm not going to do that dance today. You're welcome. I've seen proud. Mitch has already begun climbing that corporate ladder, a testament to his work ethic and attitude. Max completed everything. Yeah, throwing out. Mitch. Max completed everything with a positive attitude and a smile on his face, and as of today, achieved a personal goal that I don't think any other student at Hayes could claim. Yeah? You with me? Yeah? Maybe? We'll talk after. I've seen fearless. A few students overcame great personal obstacles to achieve great results. Maggie's car show was epic. As the start time rolled up, The parking lot was pretty empty, but then suddenly cars started rolling in from everywhere. You could even buy a hot dog from a food van. It's amazing. Kayla's second board presentation, what a powerhouse performance, complete with eye contact. Another larger-than-life project was the Lewis Gardens. I don't know if that's what they're going to be called, but that's what we'll call them today. Kat's vision that is now a beautiful addition to Hayes that will be appreciated by years of future students. Speaking of, we have a student-made memorial stone. Yeah, to add to that garden, honoring Miss Spencer's years of contributions to this school. Are you crying? No? No tears? I'm disappointed. Many years in the future, if one of you stopped by to visit and shared the story of Jared's heart rate monitor showing over 160 beats per minute, I didn't even know you could live through that. Before his senior boards, I'd probably still laugh remembering him holding up that Apple Watch to show me the heart rate graph. He was clearly terrified, but he did it. You all did it. You've all done the work and earned this moment. I'm proud of you, and it's been an honor to get to know all of you. It wouldn't be a graduation speech without some sage advice. I'm hoping that this will make sense to you all, and not just Titus and Christian, our resident game designers. But way back in 1994, Forrest Gump told us that life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. And here we are 25 years later, and I still don't 100% know what that means. For the non-game, so I would like to say that life is like an MMORPG. For you non-gamers, that's massive multiplayer online role-playing game. And whether your flavor is Final Fantasy, Elder Scrolls, Fable, Fallout, Knights of the Old Republic, or the Arkham series, personal favorite of mine. It's an awesome series. It's all about gaining experience and leveling up. When you start, your character has low hit points, low health, no armor, and maybe a stick for a weapon. And that's where you're at today. You've completed the in-game tutorial, but how do you level up? Experience. You get out there, you complete quests, do tasks, and get stuff done. And that's the secret to a rich life. Get out there, do stuff, have experiences. Because experiences lead to relationships, and relationships lead to opportunity. But as you gain experience, spend your experience points wisely. Create a balanced character, and make good choices. I'd like to steal from the meme verse and suggest that we stop referring to people as a number of years old. I'm 47 years old, makes me sound old even to my own ears. I'm not 47 years old, I'm a level 47. Sounds better, right? So this level 47 would like to congratulate all of you level 18s, 19s, 20s on all of your achievements. My advice is this: level up and save often. So thank you very much. Thank you. And now it is my pleasure and honor to introduce my third period assistant manager of consumer math, Dylan Knudsen.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly. Kelly! So I made a small speech. My name is Dylan. The first few years of my schooling, it didn't turn out the best. It was really hard for me to be focused and determined to get my work done. I felt like there was so much to do. I just lived with overwhelming stress, trying to succeed and get the best grades that I could. I would just go and hang out with my friends, and I'd feel like my stress would go away. But then I was back at school the next day, and there was even more homework in such little time that I barely understood. I was failing my 9th and 10th grade, and it sent me back really far. It was really hard to gain my credits back, but I stayed persistent, but I dropped out of my 5th year of high school. It was my tipping point. I tried to go to Cascadia Tech Academy and Camas High School and have a job at the same time. But by then, I couldn't do it, so I dropped. I waited till the fall to try and reapply to school, and I decided Hayes would be a good choice. I heard good things about it all the time. With our quarter credit system and hour and 40-minute classes, it really makes it nice to stay focused and get my work done. You know, I don't think anyone has a better staff or principal like Hayes Frame High School. I'm really thankful for you to be able to guide me through my last high school year and encourage me on my journey to Clark College. I won't forget that every morning when I showed up, I would always see Christy and DJ's smiling face, even if I was late a little bit, or maybe just a lot. But I swear, sometimes it was traffic or Dutch Bros. I really enjoyed that they treated us with respect and never made us feel like kids. They made us feel like young adults. We can all see that they actually care about us and our education. I haven't felt better about going to a high school until I got to Hayes. I wouldn't have done it the best that I could without everyone encouraging me and the class of 2019 each and every day. We are so lucky to be able to have these wonderful people and to be able to experience our time at Hayes Freedom. High school will be the best 4 or 5 or 6 years of your life. It doesn't matter how long it takes, as long as you have the drive and determination to do what it takes to succeed. I don't think anyone could have done it better by helping our class of 2019 graduate. Always try your best today, but do even better tomorrow. Congratulations, class of 2019. Thank you.
Love you too. Introducing Ms. Spencer.
I'm not crying. Christy probably is. Forever is composed of nows. This is the opening line of an Emily Dickinson poem that I chose for the tattoo on my forearm because it means carpe diem to me, seize the day, but in a more poetic English teachery nerd way. Being an English teacher has been part of my identity for more than 30 years. So it was important to me that I represent that with a permanent, prominent mark on my body. I wanted to wake up and see it every morning, a daily reminder of my renewed potential. I haven't always embraced the idea of reaching my potential and seizing the days. I spent far too many years worrying about friends, grades, hair, boys, basically in that order, though sometimes my hair was more important than my grades. But I'm good now. But eventually I realized that worrying is pretty useless. It robs us of the present. It makes us believe that we should be putting our attention outside of now, usually either in places we've already left behind or places we might never need to be. Yet being a worrier was part of my identity too for a while. I just finally decided to call it thinking ahead and turn it into being a planner instead. But before I could achieve my teacher and planner, not worrier identity though, I was a lot of other things. I was a babysitter, a picker of strawberries, cucumbers, bulbs, and flowers, a high school graduate, like you will be soon, a university student, and pretty quickly a failed university student. Then I was a fast food worker and a waitress before I became a community college graduate. Then a sandwich maker, a theater concessions attendant, a preschool aide, a drugstore clerk, a WSU grad, go Cougs, a tutor, and a bookseller. Along the way, I changed from single girl to girlfriend to fiance to wife. Then when I was 30, I added a new identity to my list, parent, and it became very clear that worrier could no longer be part of who I was. It took up time and attention I couldn't spare. So I decided that if I planned well for the things that I wanted to happen, I could relax knowing I'd done my best to prepare. Of course, things didn't and still don't always go my way, according to my plans, because obstacles exist in the world, like weather, sometimes hair, and traffic, and other people. But overall, I feel much happier, and I've incorporated this into my life and lessons ever since. And I've seen some of you start to embrace it. Think one more time about your senior projects and your board presentations. And I can feel you groaning. But you did it, and here you are. Right now, a lot of your identity is rooted in what other people have called you: daughter, son, sister, brother, student, kid. Or how they've seen you: short, tall, athletic, funny, smart, troublemaker. We've talked a lot this year about whether or not you want to keep and own all of those titles, or how you might be able to change them. What happens when you let go of an identity? We're both about to find out. When you all walk off this stage and out those doors today, you will add high school graduate to who you are. A lot of people fear change and resist it. Staying the same can be more comfortable, and it is, of course, simpler. For example, even though most of you have been saying relentlessly that you cannot wait to graduate and never have to be here again, I'm looking at you, Matt Martin. At least 10 of you will walk through our doors on Monday morning out of habit because you don't know what else to do with yourself after all these years. Some of you might even arrive a little earlier than usual. And we will be glad to see you and will let you stay, but only for a little while. Change can be scary, but to me it's scarier to never change, to never let yourself become other things. This is why we kept reading and talking about things in class. I want you to remember Chief and McMurphy, how they let go of the identities that held them back and chose new ones that set them free. Remember how Walter Lee worked to break out of an identity put on him by others, and he also made mistakes, but he didn't let them define him. Remember Willie Loman for how he rejected change so fiercely that he couldn't admit his mistakes, and he did let that define him. Do not be Willie Loman. Reframe your worrying, turn it into planning, and let things go, move on. Make that part of the new you. Remember, it took me a lot of worrisome decades to wrap my head around the priorities in my life and learn how to stay focused on them. Today, your identity sheds high school student. Next, you might add, like I did, some titles that come from obligations. You'll take on jobs that meet your now needs, and that is necessary and right. But I want you to turn those obligations into opportunities. Keep pursuing the other identities you've been dreaming of. I want to know someday that you have added caregiver or nurse or lineman or baker or cruise ship chef. That's super hard to say. I'm sorry, Brendan, but do that. Become a video game designer, a manufacturer, a manager, an electrician, a social worker, photographer or motocross pro, cosmetologist, environmentalist, an evolutionary biologist, where are you, Sophia? Forester, teacher, engineer, nutritionist, firefighter, trainer, fashion designer, or tech support. An advocate for homeless people, a veterinarian or wildlife rehabilitator. A mechanic, a musician, a carpenter, a writer, an artist. But remember, regardless of whatever else you become and unbecome in the years ahead, you will always be a Hayes Freedom Renegade. Your forever is composed of nows, so please go out and seize them all, kindly, proudly, and fearlessly. I will have a performance by Gia Barnhart and Bonnie Noble.
This is where the chapter ends. A new now begins. Time's come to let it go. Hard is when you know all of these years friend in the time of our lives. Where the water meets the land, where it is shifting in sand like a tide that ebbs and flows. Memories will come and go. All of these years when we were here, all endings that I'll always remember. As we have had the time of our lives, and now the pages turn, the stories we were writing. We have had the time of our lives, and now we'll not forget the faces left behind. It's hard to walk away from the best of days, but if it has to end, I'm glad you have been my friend in the time of our lives. We say goodbye, we hold on tight to these memories that never die. We say goodbye, we hold on tight to these memories that never die. 'Cause we have had the time of our lives, and now the pages turn, the stories we will write. We have had the time of our lives, and now we'll not forget the faces left behind. It's hard to walk away from the best of days, but if it has to end, I'm glad you have been my friend in the time of our lives. 'Cause if it has to end, I'm glad you have been my friend in the time of our lives. Let's have a little more fun. And if you guys know the chorus, you should sing along. Run away with me. Two kids, you and me. Run wild and running free. Lost souls in revelry. And I said, hey, 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 live like we're renegades. And I said, hey, 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 live like we're renegades, renegades, renegades. Long live the pioneers, rebels and mutineers. Go forth and have no fear. Come close, the end is near. And I said, hey, 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 living like we're renegades. And I said, hey, 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 living like we're renegades, renegades, renegades. All heavy underdogs, all
make sure I got this. Okay. Bear with me, I'm a little shaky, very nervous. And make sure you have your tissues out for this one. My name is Socho Vasquez, and I came to Hayes my freshman year, but I had to unfortunately move away my sophomore year. Had my life taken a different path, I would still be here, and I would be walking with you guys across the stage, receiving a diploma from Hayes. But I'm still given the honor to speak and dress up and still be part of this graduation. It never felt like this day would come, standing here with the class of 2019 ready to graduate. 4 years felt so long, and yet the days passed, they were nothing, leaving me with the feeling that I should have appreciated each one more. Deep down, part of me never wanted this day to come, because I never wanted to say goodbye. Even though I will always come to visit, and I'll never lose contact with the friends and family I've made here, it's still a goodbye. Hayes Freedom will always mean so much to me because of what they have given me and my family. 2 years ago, I watched my sister walk across the stage and receive a diploma that she wouldn't have gotten if it weren't for the support here at Hayes. We both came here 4 years ago with the death of our father still fresh in our hearts. We moved to a completely new town with no support system. Hayes did more than just become our support system. The staff and students who held us as we wept on Challenge Day, they became family. As my home life started to break down into chaos and we became homeless, the staff took care of us. DJ and Holmes always made sure we had lunch, even if we had money for it or not. Ross always made sure we had food to take home with us and provided us with many, services and resources. And Christy always greeted me with a smile every morning to make sure my day started off right. The teachers always made sure class was a fun and calming environment where everyone could feel safe and at peace. They made school my safe place where I wanted to learn. The teachers here also inspired me to explore interests I never thought I'd had before. Winkley sparked my interest in law and history, something I'd hated before. Harvey taught the Diamond, which was our group in sound crafting, to express ourselves through the music we played together. Anderson shared my passion of dance, and I'll never forget those moves we learned. Lorch theorized with me about a world of photosynthetic humans, and I realized I had a knack for science I never had before. Spencer and Evans humored me with lead roles as we read Shakespeare, and I never loved literature more. And Robinson was the only teacher to be able to teach me geometry. Although many of the original teachers I knew have left or are soon to be leaving, there are also some amazing teachers filling in the spaces. I haven't gotten to know all of them, but I have had the honor to sit in some of Kelly's classes. I've grown to appreciate him as a teacher. I've had interesting conversations with him about more than just math and learned life lessons. We speak in Spanish to each other, and I even helped him translate his receipts from his trip to Mexico. Hayes Freedom has taught me so many things over the years that was way out of the norm of basic education, things that have been passed down from experience and wisdom. If you ask any other high school student, they won't be as attached to their school as the students here, but no school is as special as Hayes. No other school has a loving staff and these amazing students. Students like Darian, who will always support me through everything. Kat, my chosen sister, and her parents, who have become my forever family, with my new grandparents and aunt who love me just as much. Lux, Gia, and Charlotte, who will always be my group of weirdos, but will always be my best friends, and I love them so much. I can't thank Hayes Freedom enough for everything they have done. They've given me a group of lifelong friends, a second chance at life, and made me part of a bigger family, a family of renegades. They made me a renegade, and once a renegade, always a renegade. Now please welcome to the stage Superintendent Dr. Snell.
Hello, Renegades. I want each of you to know how proud our school district is of you. You all have created this community of Hayes. I love how you thank your teachers and staff, but you are just as much a part of the community that you've created and should be really proud of it. Each of you has met the graduation requirements of Hayes Freedom High School and the state of Washington. The journey to today was not always easy. There were times that required great persistence and patience, times that required you to lean on others like the amazing staff at Hayes and all of these wonderful family and friends here with you today. There were laughter, tears, and through it all was this amazing spirit that we've heard so much about today, and we've watched it grow in you over the last 4 years of being a renegade, kind, fearless, and proud. Seeing you develop that spirit gives us all great hope for our future. You are truly an amazing class with limitless potential and promise. And hopefully you'll impart that renegade spirit on the rest of the world. On behalf of the Camas School District, the Hayes Freedom High School staff, and our amazing community, it is my privilege to present the class of 2019 to Board President Doug Quinn.
Dr. Snell, family members, and especially our graduates. On behalf of the Camas School Board, it is my honor to accept this class of 2019 as having completed all requirements necessary for a diploma from Hayes Freedom High School. Congratulations, Renegades.
Nicole Christine Urick.
Thank you so much.
Dylan James Knutson.
Thank you.
Matthew Joseph Martin. Alexander William Roberts. Dylan Malokeola Gil Newberry.
Thank you for everything.
Maxwell Allen Bassett.